Oh, and so it is. Oh, man,
I think the angels are helping us. Keith, we are live. Hello and welcome to the Confessions of a Global Changemaker show. We have the amazing Keith Leon in the house. Keith, yay!
Hola.
Hola. Keith, I'm so excited that we've got you in the house today. Keith has come prepared. He's got cards. He's got a guitar. He's prepared for anything. Just in case I cut out, he's just going to hold the fort. Keith, let's get straight into it because I've interviewed you before. So those people that are going to tune in for the show now, we're going live via YouTube. We're in the How to Build a Brand group. We're on the How to Build a Brand page. We're on my page. We're live via Twitter. So hello to those of you that are joining us now. If you have questions about how you can be tapping into a higher power to take your goals, your dreams, all of those amazing, juicy things that happen when you sleep, when you think you're sleeping anyway. Let's tap in to some of those amazing things now. Lubna's in the house. Hi, Luby Lou.
Hi,
Keith,
Luby
you met
Lou.
Lubna when you came on tour last year.
Yes. We have become great friends.
So, Keith, let's dig straight in now. You went on an enormous tour last year. Tell us about your book for those people that haven't tuned in for any of our little chats before. Tell us about your book and the launch and what you've been up to, and give us an update. What did Keith do next?
Wow, that's amazing. Well, what seems like a million years ago now was about 30 years ago. I was told that I was going to write this book called Walking with My Angels, a true story, and it would be my experiences with source, higher power, angels, and being saved over and over again and having direct connection with angels. So I wrote a book about it. It came out August 20th, and then I embarked on this tour. And so that tour included New York, California, and Florida, spaces in between, but those were the main places where I was the longest. And it was absolutely amazing because I got to do these live events in person and connect with people and teach them how to connect with source. So I'm going to call it angels because I wrote a book about angels and I've had direct experience with angels, seen them, heard them, worked with them, worked with one that was actually in the flesh, an etheric angel that came in the flesh to work with me.
I love reading about that in your book. I was glued to your book.
Yeah, awesome. So now I'm literally living my life purpose, which was revealed to me, which you'll read in the book. The work that I'm here to do is to introduce you to this. And so it's connection with what I would call angels, but you may call source, inner guidance system, intuition, right? Intuition, inner knowing, inner GPS, God, spirit, universe, Allah, Jehovah, Mohammed, Buddha. It doesn't care what you call it as long as you call it. And that's my point, is that we all come from that energy, right? And we come from that energy, that source, and then we decided to try this body thing out. Try this meat suit thing out and see what that's like, and jump into this body. And so just because we dropped into a body does not mean that we are disconnected from that which we came from. We actually can connect, which is why people say things like every answer you need to know is within you. I've said that since childhood because I knew that was true and was receiving answers already. So every answer that we need is inside of us means if we do, the first thing that I love to teach people is sit, ask, and listen. So sit, a lot of us sitting, meditating, praying, doing all of that, asking, right? Asking questions. And are we really listening until we receive the answer to the one question that we asked before seeing a shiny object and forgetting that we asked the question in the first place, right? So the third part, listen, is the most important part of those three. Sit, ask, and listen. So for years I did a lot of listening, and one time I waited 2 weeks for an answer. 2 weeks. Got up, went to the restroom, and ate. That was it. Otherwise, I was in that one question. So that's a long time to wait for one answer, but the answer to that question was how to reach out to people to be in my second book. Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, John DeMartini, Marci Shimoff, Joe Vitale, like the exact way of how to reach out to them. And when I used it the exact way I was taught, everybody said yes. And this part of me, Keith's mind, had tried and failed so over and over again to get support from people. It was within receiving the answer and then doing what I was told that I got the yes. So this is the stuff that I love to teach. And
Well,
and
you've gone down a completely different path, right? I mean, you've got this amazing publishing company. In fact, you've got several publishing companies, and that's how you and I met. You were talking about publishing, and then you've literally gone off on this amazing journey. Walking your talk, publishing your book, going on a publicity tour, on all kinds of TV, radio. I've seen you on all kinds of stuff, following your journey. It's been a whistle-stop tour. But what I also love is that you've now productized from the book as well. And I hear a little birdie tells me that you've created some cards.
I have. And that was incredible. I don't know how many of you have like Doreen Virtue Angel cards or those cards. And God, I have like 3 or 4 decks of those, and I have experienced over and over again that they work. You know, that I shuffle them, I infuse my energy into them, and then I pull a card, and it's like exactly what I needed to hear that day. And if I pulled another card, I might have been like, I don't know what you mean. Right? So I thought I would love to have one. So it's Walking with Your Angels Daily Inspiration Deck is what I call it. And they're the back of the cards look like this. And
amazing.
And then what I did was I wrote down 11 archangels that I wanted to connect with and get messages from. And so I asked all 11 of those archangels, will you please give me 4 messages each, to each of them. Will you give me 4 messages of what you would love people to know and hear and do and be and have, right? And so I just was a channel for that. And so I typed what came through, and it's one of those like I'm possessed moments, because you're typing and what's coming through is just like, I've never said those words, I've never thought that thought, and it was amazing. So it's 44 messages from 11 archangels and Walking with Your Angels Daily Inspiration Deck. So I thought I would pull a card for us. So this is
I love it.
Dear angels, you know who you are, the ones I'm talking to. What do you want anyone who is on now, listening live or watching this later, to know regarding what we are as a world experiencing together right now? And isn't it interesting that this is the first time in history that I can think of that the whole world is experiencing the same drama at the same time?
Isn't it?
There have been wars, and there's like that country and that country, and there's been people getting together, the UN, they get together and talk, but I'm not sure everybody's experiencing the same thing. And but right now, all experiencing the same thing. So there's unity in that field, right? More people now than ever sitting down doing this thing that I'm talking about: sit, ask, and listen, meditating, praying. I've seen people post, never ever said anything about meditating, talking about a vision they had, and it's just like so incredible. So this is appropriate. I, for us, have pulled the card Archangel Gabriel, is what people call Gabriel's in the Bible. He usually shows up as a male, but for me showed up as a female when first time that I even asked Gabriel to show up, showed up as a female. So that brings forth this: angels don't have a sex, right? They show up to us in a way that we'll be able to wrap our mind around them and get it. And so for me, I was raised by women, didn't have men around. All women feel more connected to women than men. So it didn't surprise me that she showed up and went, it's Gabriel. I mean, it's Gabrielle, not Gabriel. So here's the message for all of us. As the master teacher Jesus said, therefore I say unto you, everything that you pray and ask, believe that you are receiving it, and you shall have it. No truer words have been spoken. You are in co-creation with the divine. Let me say that again. You are in co-creation with the divine. What you pray for today, believing you'll receive what will you pray for today, believing you will receive what you request? What will you pray for today, believing you will receive what you request? So that's a great call to action for us. What will we focus on today and expand and attract into our lives, knowing without a shadow of a doubt that as we speak our word, it's done. So it's a great question.
It's a brilliant question. And what an amazing card. What a great experience. I can't wait to get my cards. Bloody hell, I only realized you had these cards the other day. I was like, I've got to get you on the show and find out more about this. So, I mean, what the world is going through right now, like nobody's ever really posed that to me in that way. And that's a really interesting thought, that we are all going through this experience right now. I mean, it's so fascinating to think about that. And of course, we get to go back to the world that we choose to create, which is even more exciting as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And as you said, more people are now questioning, like the people that at first were in complete trauma because they'd lost their jobs are now thinking, well, what would I like to do with my life? They're now getting purposeful. That things are being called forth to them that they maybe didn't even have in their vision while they were so busy pushing, shoving, striving and driving, moving forward.
Yeah.
There are options coming forth that they could never have dreamed of in a million years, especially for business owners as well. Yeah. What do you say is, like, what's the biggest pivot that you've seen?
Wow. The biggest pivot I've seen is people who I knew what they did, but I never really saw them out there with it. Right. So they're friends of mine, and I know that they have this gift, but they were always the best kept secret. And now I see those people on Facebook daily doing their own thing, right? Creating like you're creating your programs, your products, you're creating in creation mode. And this is the perfect time for that, right? Now's the time to literally stop doing everybody else's thing and do your thing. Create your thing so that you can share the gift and the blessing of who you are and why you're here to be on this earth. So I've just seen a lot of pivots with friends and colleagues who are actually in creation mode instead of just trying to find the next event to go speak at or something like that, and had abandoned social media, right? And now where are you going to go to speak live? It's not happening. I'm like stuck, right? I'm like going crazy. That's why I have the event next week. I'm having my angel event next week, and I'm doing it online, so it'll be the same event that if you would have came to see me live, only now I have to do it online because we'd all have to sit so many feet apart from each other, and it'd have to be a pretty big room, right? If we were all had 6 feet around us.
Tell us about this event. What's going on next week? And hi, Simon.
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to if you want to.
Cool.
You need to request your permission, and I'll just accept it.
There we go. All right.
I'm very excited about this, because here's why I'm excited about this. Because I've grown up in this world of spirituality and angels and healing, and this has been something that's been around me all my life. And it's always something I've been curious about, but I've always been too scared to delve further. My grandma was always one that said, don't mess with it, but respect it, do it properly, learn how to do it properly. Because I've never done that. I've never ventured into it. So I cannot wait till it's next Thursday, right? I can't wait until
Can you see the screen?
dive into it and learn more.
Can you see the screen? So it's learn how to contact your angels, tips and tools from international best-selling author of Walking with My Angels, Keith Leon S. And so what I'll be doing in that event is teaching you how to access your inner guidance. And so there's more than one tool, right? Sit, ask, and listen is just the tip of the iceberg, right? I teach you how to access angels and get answers while you sleep, while you're out and walking around in your everyday life, just all day long, receiving guidance, and really developing the tool to make that happen in a way that you're just no longer even thinking about it. It's just happening everywhere you go. So you'll get tools to communicate with your angels and guides, hear more stories from the book, receive tips that will support you every day, and learn what's kept you from attracting everything that you wish for, receiving insights to reveal life's path and purpose. Now, I have to create bullet points because that's just a standard thing, and you're learning that, right? As you create your programs and products. But what you need to know about this event is it's never the same twice, ever, because it's completely spirit-led, angel-led, which means the opening song is the only thing that I have planned. I have all the tools and no plan. So it's about you. So you come to this event, you bring your questions, you bring like, hey, I'd love to do a process about this, and request what you would love. And that's what we're going to do. Wow. So it's Thursday, April 30th on Zoom, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure what time that is.
So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's going to be 11 until 1 a.m. on Thursday. I better book me a day off. I'll ask my boss if I could have a day off next Friday.
Oh, perfect. I'll ask my boss. And the love donation for the event, which, by the way, I have some special guests coming, and one of them is Bob Proctor, my mentor.
Yay!
Yeah. And so how fun it was to reach out to special guests and ask them, hey, will you come share an angel story? Now, to my knowledge, Bob's never shared an angel story ever. He talks about paradigms. He talks about other things. I said, I want you to talk about when you asked higher guidance for support for an answer, and then what happened. And so I can't wait to hear what he shares. And then
wait a minute. You've asked him that question, but you actually don't know what he's going to say.
Yes. Yeah.
So he can say anything.
Exactly. It's live. It's live. This is live, people. So and then the other special guest as well. I just haven't heard them talk specifically about angelic support, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that they do have angels because of how their life has been, So I'm just really excited. It's not going to be a whole bunch of that. They're going to come in and kind of share their story, and then they can stick around or go. But what I wanted to do is bring their energy in and just have, like, if you know Bob Proctor and you love him, you probably heard his talk and you know it by heart. If you're like me, you've seen it so many times. So just to put fresh energy and perspective on that from other people that and hear how they've been accessing and what happened, it will be just a joy and a pleasure. So it's scheduled for 2 hours, and then I don't stop at 2 hours, so plan on 2 hours. But if you have to go after that, there'll be a recording, and I'll send it to you. If questions are still coming, I'm not going to just be like, well, I gotta go now. It's 1 o'clock. Bye now. So I'll keep going as long as people have questions. But the majority of the processes and the information and songs, if you know me, I'm going to be singing at some point during my event, always. So, and then some of the process actually do include a song, so that helps when people request something that has singing in it. So here's what I want you to know. It said love donation 27 US. All of us have bills to pay, right?
That's £20.
It's nothing.
Euros, maybe not even that.
Right, and so that it is nothing, but right now it might be something. So here's what I want. Here's what my invitation to you. I would rather have you there on the call and receive this beautiful message than be attached to a certain number. So if for some reason 20 pounds is a hardship, then please message me personally and say, either I have this or I have nothing, but I'd love to attend. So I just want you to be there, and I want you to be able to invite anybody that you know and love and have them there as well. So that's my invitation to you. I don't feel like it's a lot. I hope it's not a lot for you. No, right? But if it is, let me know.
But, for some people we might know it might be a lot. Those of us that are in business, I would hope that our businesses are strong enough that we can pay it forward for someone that we know maybe. What a lovely pay it forward gift that would be. So Keith, how do we find out more? Because you haven't sent me any links or anything. So how do I share this with people?
All right. I think
because we didn't know we were going to talk about that today. That's why he hasn't sent it across. And while we're thinking about that, Keith, I want you to think about your confession today. What your confession on the show, what that would be. So, there must be a time when you didn't listen to that inner guidance, and you made some decisions that you would never make that decision again. for somebody watching this show right now, that they can learn from that and go, brilliant. If that ever happens to me, I now know what to do. So what would that question be?
Wow. There's a lot of them. I was able to put the link in private chat, but it's not letting me.
Got it.
Okay. Wow. Well, my confession would be, before I sat down to ask how do I contact these people to be in that book, right? I had been told no by the most famous, incredible people over and over and over again, because I didn't know how to ask. I was just asking from a place that was really needy, right? Needy. I need you to take me to the next level. And even though I wasn't saying that, my energy was saying that. So they were just like, get away from me as quickly as possible, please, in the nicest way that they could say it. And so thank God I was willing to sit there for 2 weeks again. I will say 2 weeks waiting for the answer. How will I reach these people? Because it completely shifted and changed my life. Like I ended up with the 3 mentors I always wanted, and that was mind blowing, right? So when I watched The Secret, I wasn't like, oh, I want to do business with those people. I was like, I want to be friends with them. I want to go to their house for dinner. I want to have a personal relationship. So I had a different vision with those people. So that's one. And then if we're really going to confess, I mean, really, there was a time where I completely abandoned my angels and got into, drugging and drinking and all that. And that was like through high school and through my early 20s. And so you'll read about that in the book. And I was in like my deep, dark phase when that angel came to me and appeared and befriended me and got me to be good enough friends to say, hey, do you want to come to my house and hang out? And then get to pick my brain and find out that I really didn't believe in anything. And oh crap, now I have to start from scratch. Here we go. And he literally did start from first baby step, and do everything he needed to get me to believe in anything more than what I could see with my eyes. That at that point, that was literally all I believed in. And so my
what I
confession.
love about your story in the book, where you talk about how you're walking down the street and you see she's going to be my future wife.
Yeah.
And you're like a kid at that stage, and you end up marrying this woman who turns out to be not the woman you're meant to be with for the rest of your life.
Right.
But you were following your guidance. You were following your inner guidance. So, what's interesting about that is it's okay to realize that you were on the path you were meant to be on for that period of time. But it doesn't mean that, and I see a lot of people holding on to businesses. I see a lot of people holding on to their idea, onto a person. It's almost like their identity is built because they're like, hang on, that was the thing I went for and I've got it and I'm not letting it go. And it's not where they're meant to be now. So what would you say to those people who thought they were on a purpose and they were, but now that it's changed, it's gone direction. So do you keep hanging on or do you let go to grow?
Yeah, that was a big topic in the Who Do You Think You Are book that put me on the map, and it was all about life purpose. And I got like all mentors together to say, how did they discover their purpose? What led to that, and then what advice would they give us? And over and over again, they kind of talked about a purpose can change. So we can get a clear answer. This is my purpose. And you're like, this is my purpose for life. But that purpose could change 10 minutes later. It certainly has for me. Right. I was told I would write this book, but then from then on, it was like, and we'll be telling you what to do next. So from way back then, what happened next was, get off drugs, move back to where I grew up, be a flower delivery person, be an apartment manager, get back into the restaurant business. It was like, okay, how does this have anything to do with the book, right? Then it was, stay in the restaurant business. Then it was have everything come crashing down and get stripped back to nothing, no money in the bank. And then it was, well, I'm on welfare, might as well write that book I always wanted to write with my wife. And we wrote the 7 Steps to Successful Relationships as I tried to claw my way out of that and get some work. And we ended up writing the book, which led us to be coaches, and then led me to an organization that was the largest training company in the world, who made us coaches for them. And then I had 32, 35 clients on my coaching docket, and my wife had 32. Whew, while I wrote the Who Do You Think
workload.
While I wrote the Who Do You Think You Are book. So, and then right now I'm in what you're talking about. So I spent all these years writing books and then creating a publishing company, or help thousands of people to write their books, to then create a publishing company and have all these books under our publishing wing and be in this publishing business. And then here, okay, it's time for the angel book. Oh, okay, write the angel book. Okay, can we put it out now? No. Okay. When? Oh, about 1.5 years from now. What? Okay. So then that led me to a question. Well, then why did I write the book now? Why have I done this publishing business? Why, oh wait, why is not the question I want to ask? Oh, I remember now what I teach. Why question will never give you the answer that I want. Okay, how, what, started asking those questions. So then I got clear on, oh, every book I wrote, every JV partner, every mentor, every person that I ever helped write their book, thousands, every person we published, every friend, every connection was so that when the angel book came out, I could say, hey, will you tell your people about my book? And that all of them would say, of course. Oh my God, look what you've done for me. That's the least I could do is email or do a Facebook thing for you. And so when the book came out, it was like everywhere I went, whoa, there it is, there it is, there it is. Wow, 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 and so all of that was to then now put me into my life purpose path, which is sharing what I'll be sharing with you next Thursday. And we're sharing right now, right? This is why I'm here on the earth. This is my purpose that I was told 20 years ago. And everything up until then was also part of the purpose, but not the grand plan. Does that make sense? It was part of the purpose.
That. It's all part of the purpose, but it's not part of the grand plan.
Right. So
or, no, not all part of the purpose, but not the grand plan. I think you said.
Yeah. 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 So writing all the books, absolutely my life purpose at the time. Helping other people write the books, my purpose at the time. Every JV partnership, everything that I did, purpose at the time, all leading up to what I was told 20 some years ago. You will write a book called Walking with My Angels. It'll be your true story. Like, they gave me that title. I didn't make it up. And that the book, and this is cool. Here's some of the promises they gave me, that the book and my work that I do now is about raising the vibration of the planet. No pressure. Tell the guy when he's 22 that he's here to raise the vibration of the planet. Oh, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't know what you angels are smoking, but that scares me a little bit. But one of the promises they made, and this is cool for anybody who physically has the book. If you're hearing this, you're gonna go, oh, that's what that was. I was told that anybody who held the book in their hands would be raised to their next level of vibration. Sit with that for a second. Anybody who held the book in their hands would be raised to their next level of vibration. So that helped me a little bit when I pondered that. I really heard myself say that when I was talking to somebody one time, and I go, oh, that's how I reach all the people that they told me I was going to reach, because they told me I was going to reach millions of people with this book. And that's how even as a publisher, I heard the number they told me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure there's enough marketing in the world to make that happen.
Whatever.
Yeah. But what I got was, so that means if you get the book and you throw it on your table, every person that comes to your house and goes, what's this book, and picks it up and flips through it for 30 seconds, just got everything that they were supposed to receive from the book, which made sense. There's that person who said, I can't remember his name, a famous guy who used to put beds underneath or put books underneath his pillow when he slept, and he would wake up knowing everything that was in the book, right? There's this guy that everybody talks about who did that, and that would make sense in that direction as well. So getting back to the question you asked, I'm taking a long journey around. Your purpose can change. It could change daily. It really could. Everybody's purpose is different, and it doesn't mean that it's forever. And I want you to know that being a loving mother is a beautiful life purpose. And if you are a loving mother and your husband worked and you enjoyed doing that and you raised a beautiful child, that would be worth you incarnating on this planet. It doesn't have to be something that millions and millions of people get. You know, it's a personal experience with you and your creator. And when you say, what is my purpose, and you receive an answer, that's the one. You know, don't doubt it. Don't get in the way of it. Just say, "Ah, fantastic," and do that. You spoke to my, like, I literally had my guardian angel when I was a kid tell me that this girl up the block was going to be my wife when I grew up, and that's what Sammy's talking about. It's in the book, and so I did end up meeting her later. I knew it was her because my idea of that woman was her grown up a little bit. So when I saw her, I knew it was her. And I told her the story. She thought it was crazy, but I took her back and drove her where she lived, showed her house, where she used to play every day. And she was like, wait a minute. So, so we did have 13 years together, and at least 4 of those were good because of really terrible communication that we had both dragged forth with us. And when we split up, and I was in that kind of "why have you forsaken me" moment, right? That we have when a relationship ends. You know, why would you tell me this is gonna be my wife, and then this happened? And it was, oh, my angel didn't ever say that's gonna be your wife forever. Said that's gonna be your wife when you grow up. And I was like, oh, right. So
Brilliant.
then, so that's when something shifted. Oh, well then, what was it for? What was it about? What was I to learn from that? And then when I started asking what questions instead of why, right? What questions? What was I to learn from that? Is when it was revealed to me, you brought your horrible lack of communication skills from your family right into your relationship. So what would you do different if you ever moved into a relationship with someone else? How would you be different? Hey, what might have been your part in the two of you splitting up? I know she did something that was so drastically horrible that looked like the event that made you jump out. But how long had you been out before that? Right. And what was it? What were you to learn? And once I got the awareness of what I was to learn from the relationship, and that and owned my part of it, then I reached out to my ex-wife and said, "Can we meet?" And then I told her, "I'm sorry for my part in, and here's what I did." And she was crying, saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." You know, and I'm sorry for the horrible thing I did to get your attention because I felt like I didn't have it, you know. And then we had a real conversation, right? So everything has a divine
Yeah.
purpose, even when it looks like a steaming pile of, you know what? It's still for you, not against you.
Yeah.
It's created by you for you. Everything that happens in your life created by you for you. And so when you can look at a steaming pile of whoot and say, what is in this for me? I know it's for me. And so instead of looking back, you know, a year from now and saying, "Oh, now I see the blessing in this crappy thing," let me look for it now. What's the blessing in this right now, even though it looks like a steaming pile of dew, right? And that's one of the things that I've been working on for years, to be able to shorten the learning curve.
Shorten the do.
Shorten the time that I finally, because you know you have those things, right, where you look back now and you go, now I can see the blessing, but at that time I would have flipped you off if you told me it was a blessing. Right.
Well, I mean, there's things that we do, you know, and especially for those that are watching this show, you're just like us, right? We wouldn't be
Yeah.
having this conversation, and you certainly wouldn't be watching this if we weren't on the same wavelength. But I think, you know, there's things that we do as entrepreneurs, like, you know, you fly all over the world, I fly all over the world. We did fly all over the world.
We did.
The purpose at that time was for us to do that, and so, you know, we've done that, and we've done the hard yards. We've put in the air miles just to go make impact. And
Yeah.
every single place you go, like, there are so many times, and Keith, maybe you have this, and maybe you watching this now are also, you've had this happen, where I've like woken up in the morning and I'm meant to go and speak at an event, or I'm meant to go do something, and you think, oh God, I could really do without that. I really could do without going to that event. oh God, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Should I go? Shouldn't I go? And, maybe there's, a few days of pondering. And then you're like, no, I said I would go. So I'm a highly loyal person. So I'm like, right, I said I'll go. I'm going to go. And I go. And then I walk away from the event and go, fuck. That's why I was meant to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it crazy? Like it's when you prepare and you go to these events and you have an expectation.
Yeah.
And you don't meet the expectation, but you're still on path. It's just you're looking in the wrong place for the validation.
Yes.
While you're there. Like you might go somewhere to sell something and you don't make any sales, and it's like, well, that was shit. That was a waste of time. That was, and you feel really crappy about it. Right. And then, I don't know, 2 years later or 5 years later, what goes around comes around, and you go, oh, that's was at that event. Oh, got it.
Somebody since then who was in the audience built an empire and has 1,000 people in the room and invites you to that event, right? So,
yes.
Going back really quick, Simon said shit becomes manure.
Yeah.
Right? So that's so true. So it's just like planting a seed for something better. But another, piggybacking on what you said, another example of that is being at an event and having that person in the front row with their arms crossed and a scowl on their face all the way through your talk. And when I very first started speaking, that would get in my head. I was just like, oh no, they're not having a good time. They don't believe me. They hate this. Oh, and I would make up this story, and it would pull me from being in the present. It would pull me away from being in the present and being able to deliver and let it stream through me, right? And then every time that person would come up at the end, wait in the line, and come up last, and then say, "Oh my God, here's what I received." And you had heard everybody else's what they received story before them, but that person who had their arms folded looking at you and you thought, what an idiot, was judging you, had the most profound experience for them, right? Maybe not as grand and drastic as the person who always has it, but for them was like so life-shifting and so profound. And that's just how they sit. And that's just how they look.
Oh God.
Right? That's where that like resting bitch face came from, right? Some people just look like and they're having a good time. So as soon as I got that, like that happened a few times, then I realized
the whole mind reading thing is dangerous.
Yeah. Then I realized that, wait a minute. And so I did this thing for a little while before I said one word. And I might have did this at your event because I just kind of made a practice of it. Before I say a word, I put my hand on my heart and I scan the eyes of everyone in the room. If there's 1,000 people, I go around here, there, because it would take a long time. But before I say one word, I connect with people in their eyes, because the first person that you connect with will go, hi, in their head. And the next person, because it takes a little time, so people are wondering, what the heck are you doing, right? The next one will be like, yeah, man. And the next one's going, I got you. And the next one's going, oh, you're going to do great, right? And I realized in looking in people's eyes before I ever said a word that every person was for me and no one was against me. No one was sitting there going, I hope Keith screws this up. Nobody. And the minute that I realized that everybody was for me and no one was against me, I never got nervous on stage again. I'm not the guy that throws up before. I'm not the guy that gets scared or forgets the words or any of that anymore, because there's nothing for me to lose. Yeah. Even if I did forget the words or screw up, everybody there is holding me, cradling me, going, you got it, in their head, oh, I do that all the time. Like, that's the worst thing that would happen. They would go, oh, happens to me all the time. And then I just never got nervous again. And then that helped me to really start to deliver beautiful content from a higher source, from a higher place.
I remember you and I having that conversation in Holland after running an event in Holland for our Brand Builders Club members. Yeah. And you were showing me pictures. I think you showed me a picture of you singing, in fact, on stage to something like 20,000 people. And when you said 20,000 people, my whole being just went, what the heck? Yeah. 20,000 people? And you were like, oh, I think we need to do some mentoring here. we sat there and you were just pouring this amazing session on neither of us were there to.
Yeah,
I
because
was like, wow.
and because everything is energy and everything is a sea of energy, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, a room full of 10 people is hard. 28,000 people is easy as pie. Because
Said
you just
that
you
so resonates.
yeah, you don't know, you no longer see one. You're just in this sea of positive energy and everybody's pulling for you and loving you, and you feel it. It overwhelms you. It's just like right, and then you can boom, then it just starts to pour through, and if you're vulnerable enough to not like judge it and critique it as it comes through, and you just let it flow, then the most profound things will come forth. Like those two things that you typed in just earlier, when you typed them, I was like, oh my God, because they literally have never said those phrases before. They just came through now. So I need to go back and snatch them because they were, wow. They were profound. And that's what happens when because I'm not in my head right now. I'm not thinking like, or what can I sell someone, or you know what I mean? Like I'm just not in that piece.
Yeah.
I'm connecting with you. I'm connecting with those that are listening. Those that are going to watch later. We did an angel card reading, right? How can I do that and then not be in that energy?
Like that, there's did we have a reading? We've had book readings and things on here before. I think you're the first angel card reading that we've had.
Yeah.
And how cool would it be if you were the first song that we had as well? Guys and girls, what do you reckon? Should we ask Keith to sing? He bought his guitar with him just in case my internet went down because it's been having funky stuff go on all day.
All right. Well, I have of course I have like 100 originals, but I think I'll do something that you all will know, and so you can try to sing along with me. I think I kind of stylize it a little bit when I sing it, but you will definitely recognize it. Okay. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. In my hour of darkness, she's standing there in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. But though they may be parted, there's still a chance that they might see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. Well, I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Wonderful.
Woohoo!
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Oh my
welcome.
gosh, Keith, like I can't believe our time is almost over. That was such a
Oh,
beautiful way to start us wrapping up on the show. Now, obviously, you've got your session that's coming up next Thursday. Those of you that didn't hear that earlier, go back, watch the replay. But just in case you don't have time, I'm going to get that on the screen right now. So Keith's running an amazing session next Thursday. For those of us in the UK, it's going to be a late one. So it's going to be from about 11 till 1 p.m., 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.
oh, okay.
Those of you that are going to be on Eastern time, did you say it's from 6 till 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, and just so you know, if you pop on for a while and then you're like, go to sleep, I will the next day be uploading the video into Vimeo and sending a link out to everybody who registered. However, being on live is preferred. And even if you pop on 11 and then put a question that you would love to have answered in the chat and then go to sleep, I'll be checking that, right? And so then I'll answer the question and you can receive it the next day. So however it looks for you, I just would love to have your energy there with me, because I know the type of people that are in BBC, right? I've got to meet you, I've got to connect with you, I've got to love you, I've got to support you, and I know that's who I would love to have with me at that event. So
it'll be so wonderful for you guys to join me. I'm going to be there, as is Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor is also going to be there as well. Keith's got some special speakers who are going to be attending, so definitely be there. Check spelling on tiny URL. Is the Connacht. Let's have a look. It should be Connacht. So just a second. I will go in. Thank you very much for highlighting that for me. Contact your angels.
Maybe that's why it wasn't working.
Maybe a little bit.
Let me put a T in there.
Would you be able to check that now, guys and girls? Would you be able to go and check that link and see if it works? I love that you've put what did you call it? A love donation. I think that's so nice that you've got a love donation. He's not charging for it. It's a love donation. It's for you to come along, experience the amazingness, really finding your purpose, your reason why, listening to your intuition. There's no better time than now, while the world is kind of stopped, for you to get on purpose. And if you felt like you've been going away from that purpose and you've been feeling that little ache inside you that actually I think I need a little bit of review, now's the time to do it. And what better time than to do that with Keith and Bob and your other speaker that you've got coming as well. And Keith, how do you get hold of your angel cards as well? Like, where do we go to find them?
There's a challenge with that right now because of what's going on in the world. I had somebody from UK order the cards the other day, and it was $30 for me to ship them. In shipping, $30.
Wow.
Plus the investment for the cards. So right now it would be quite a thing. But when the time comes and we're on the other side of this, if you go to You Speak It, if you go to beyondbeliefbooks.com, beyondbeliefbooks.com, that'll work. And then I also put the direct link up there for you in the private chat. That's the one that goes straight there in case that contact your angels thing isn't working. I just didn't want you to have to go to this one, but
it's a long one. But
I put contact your and typed it in the way that I know I created it, and it still doesn't seem like it's working, even though I tested it right before we came on. Weird. Contact your angels. Yep. Okay.
Well, I can't wait to contact my angels, although I'm pretty sure they're working for me all the time. They're like working so hard all the time.
Working overtime.
Working overtime. Sometimes when you're, well, actually all the time, when you're leading and you're building a movement, especially when you're building a movement, you can give all of yourself to it. You can become consumed with the movement and the message and the serving power that you have. And I thrive when I'm putting energy into that. I get my energy from lots of other places, but there's a higher source that's also giving us the energy that we need You know, when you think, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't think I've ever been this tired before. How am I even functioning? Like, that's not just a bodily thing that's happening. There's some extra support that's going on there that maybe we could be calling on that more often, and then we wouldn't get so exhausted.
That's so true.
Well, Keith, is there anything that you would like to wrap up with as we start to end this session?
First, I want to say that typo, that contact your angels, actually works. So when I made the URL, I must have done a typo, and now that explains why when I put it incorrectly, it doesn't work. I mean, oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
Well, thank you to whoever that was. It only said Facebook user, so I couldn't see who it was, but thank you to whoever it was that joined in and said that. Who have we got on tomorrow's show? Let me just go and check.
Well, so the question you asked me right before I said that was what?
Is there anything you would like to wrap up on for today's show?
Yeah, I just want you to know that there may be someone in the past who told you that you're not good enough, or there was something wrong with you. I think we all have those people, and some of that got in there, and then some of us maybe still have some of that hanging around. So I always like to try to undo what people did to us while we were growing up, the best that I can. And so I want you to know that right now, as we take this breath together, there's nothing that we need in this moment other than this breath. And in this breath, you are perfect just the way you are. There's nothing that you need to do or have or be when you're in the present moment. When you're just breathing and just being the beautiful angel spirit energy, loving, kind, beautiful person that you are. When you're just being who you are here to be, there's nothing but perfection. There's nothing but perfection in you. And I am able to see that you are love, you are light, you are joy, because nobody told me this stuff about you, right? I get to see the truth of you and who you really are, and that is love, peace, joy, perfect, just the way you are. That is giving, that is loving, caring, that is the perfect person to deliver your message. You are that, and you're perfect just the way you are. And so thank you for being the gift of you. That's what I want.
Perfect way to finish on that, Keith. Thank you so much for your heart. You literally you just have a heart that's big enough for the whole planet. I think, you know, it's like I don't even need to fly over to Vermont to see you anymore. Like, I just get your heart right here, right from where you are to where I am, and I'm sending all my love to you and all of you who are watching the show right now, whether that's on the replay or joining us live. Go back and watch the replay if you missed any of this conversation. We've had a lot of big conversation go on.
Yes.
We've gone deeper, I think, than I've ever gone on any of the shows, and even had a card reading as well. So, Keith, thank you so much from my heart to yours, and to those of you watching, sending you big love. And Keith, if you can send me a little bit more information, then I can send that out with the replay of the show and have other people get the opportunity to see it. Guys and girls, if you, wherever you're watching this from, you can go to my Facebook page, Sammy Blindell Official, and share this interview with other people who you think would love to take part in the amazing session that's being run next Thursday. And we'd really love for you to do that. You never know who's in that place where they need some extra emotional, spiritual, maybe mental support, and they're just not getting it from the sources they're looking to right now. Maybe this session is the session that's going to be the difference for them. So please share it, and I'll look forward to sending it out on an email. If you're on our list, then you'll receive the replay on there along with the link that you'll be able to click, and you can go and book your ticket. Keith, give my love to the gorgeous Mara, and I will see you very, very soon. I'll see you in the Brown Builders Club group.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do for all of us, and the beautiful, beautiful gift that you are to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Oh, there's so many big kisses coming your way.
Woo!
Have an amazing day, amazing evening, amazing morning, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I will be back live at 5 tomorrow. I have a fire walker, like a crazy fire walker, amazing, huge energy. The kind of transformations this guy does is like on like thousands of people. I mean, the stuff that he does, walks on glass, like totally breaks every boundary there could possibly be. He's in North Yorkshire. So who do you know in North Yorkshire in England that that may have met him? Maybe you are one of those people. Simon, I know you watching this now are North Yorkshire side of things. In fact, Keith, Simon was watching you on screen at the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit before he became a member of Brand Builders. So
Hi, Simon.
we've already semi-met each other.
Yeah, it's already coming around.
It is. Well, take care, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with the next show. And take care. Sending you big love. Mwah. Bye.
Take care. Bye, everyone.